business structuring for interactive sessions online. Happy Monday, first of all. Happy New Week and happy Easter Monday. I am excited to be here with you as always, and I'm super pumped to make sure that you, as a business owner, get the best result for whatever you're looking for online, especially when you're thinking about business structuring. That is one topic that everybody always, thinks about, talks about, and plans. Everybody has their own business structure. So you have to think about your business as a structure online. Everything to do with your business is your business, because your business is your business name, your business, account, business model, business mantra. That's your business. So I have nothing to do with that. What I'm here to do is to make sure that your business structure online has visibility, because there are things that could be happening. For example, I have a client that they just opened up a new store, new location, and that was last year. And they've been doing well because they sell internationally, right? They sell online internationally to London, to Dubai, within the US. And they did, decide to open up a store because they're expanding. So they opened the store, and right now the store, I mean, they're still selling online and they're doing well. The store didn't need to be open because people are already selling online. But the business structure allowed her to gain more access to opportunities where she can expand. So, talking to her today, we now decided to focus on building structures whereby she can enjoy being online and also being in person. Even though people don't have to walk into a store, she can have workshops, she can have events, she can have fashion shows, she can have, things that can help people get to know more about the brand. Because even though you're online, you can still have that opportunity if that's your structure. So there are different ways to build this out. And today I want to break this down, and it's an interactive session. So I don't want it to just be me. If you're available in the chat, please feel free. If you're available to speak, please come up. And yeah, I'm really excited to see you all here today. So Debbie, thanks as well. Erica, thanks for being here. Austin, Abdul, Laquan, Francis, Kaba, Shady, Betty, David, John, and Kalia. Thank you all for being here. How are you, Debbie? Happy Monday.
How are you, Favor? It's a great Monday,
It
and I'm
is.
doing good.
That's good. That's good. I'm excited to be here. And before we even get started, I'm sure people would love to know you, Debbie. So please let them know who you are, what you do, especially because, you're big on websites too.
Well, thank you, Favor. So, yeah, my name is Debbie Dowling Waba, and I own Mama Waba Digital Business Solutions, where I help you to attract, automate, integrate, and nurture potential customers and clients and future customer and clients through email marketing. Hi, John.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, Debbie. Hey, Favor.
Hey, John. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for being here today. John, please introduce yourself and let people know about you.
Yeah, my name's John. I'm the host of the national syndicated law enforcement talk radio show, which started as a podcast only in March 2017 and quickly got recruited by radio. We're on 132 stations. We broadcast to about 48 million combined U.S. population, and then episodes go online as a podcast. And currently, it's the top 1/10% ranked podcast, trying to get in the 100th. The top ones are zero point zero 0.01. So it's got a ways to go. And I specialize in the podcast, radio, social media. That's my jam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate you for being here. We have a great room today, and we're going to dive deep and talk about this and really make sure we can get the best responses. So I'm happy to have you all here today. Thanks for being here, John. And we also have John, too. Hey, what's up? Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. We'd love to hear from your question. What would you like to say? Introduce yourself. Feel free. Welcome to the room.
Hey everybody, it's John Kirk here from Vancouver, Canada. I'm the president of the As Seen on TV company. We brand products, put them on television, and do mass distribution. That's it.
Amazing. Thanks for being here, John, all the way from Canada. This is a global app, and I always love, global connections, and it's something that I definitely do cherish, and I really appreciate you all for being here today. For those who are hearing me for the first time, I see you got a pink ticket as well, Stephen, Lauren, and the mom coach. Thanks for being here. Please feel free, and Zach too, that just walked in. Feel free to click the link at the very top that says Marketing Club. And there you can just cash in your ticket and join the Marketing Club. We have grown actually. So we have 351.3K members here. We've been growing steadily, and I'm one of the leaders in this house, and it's been an amazing experience ever since we got started. So I'm really excited to be here with you all today. And if you hear me for the first time, my name is Favour Obasi-ike, and I help businesses and entrepreneurs, leaders, founders, creatives pretty much optimize your presence online by optimizing your website, your mobile application, your mobile apps, artificial intelligence systems, and technically media infrastructure, with applied zip code marketing or postal marketing so that you can advertise to the right people and advertise correctly using the right strategies. And by building bridges online, you have to have a structure. So that's where search engine optimization comes into play. So I use podcasting as well as one of the strong arms. And podcasting has been one of the greatest things I think I've ever done and best decisions ever outside of other things because I'm a musician too, self-taught drummer, and I also I'm a songwriter, and that's why you can see Flav Beats when you look at my profile. So it's not just a name, it's something I do. And I decided to switch over from music because music I've been doing for 2 decades this year and working on something. I'll talk about that later with music. But podcasting is what I pivoted to from music. And I said, yeah, I've been doing music for a long time. Let me pivot to podcasting. And now it's going to be 6 years this year, this August 12th. And we're streaming across 144 countries. And we've been doing this for about 6 years now with 500 podcast episodes in. And this is our 10th season. And it's really exciting to connect with a lot of people. And being on an app like Clubhouse is the reason why, everything is happening today. Because if it wasn't for Clubhouse, let me say it this way. Let me put it this way. If it wasn't for the podcast, for me starting a podcast, I wouldn't be on Clubhouse because I thought about speaking to people globally on an app that we can connect like this. A lot of people are here today. A lot of you are here today to learn about how to, structure your business. So I'm not just guessing keywords. These are keywords that I've researched. This room did not just happen or it's like, oh yeah, this is the room I want to do. Check. I did research. That's why this room is on. That's why this room is available. That's why this room is here. It's live. We're talking today because I want to make sure that this information is given correctly. And if people are saying, hey, you have a podcast, it's called We Don't Play, you can click the link above and you can click on podcast and it will take you to the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast and you get exclusive insights because I go really deep into exclusivity and help you understand how to build out your business because a lot of people are not growing and not glowing online because they're not seeing that the light at the end of the tunnel starts off with the search. So if anything that you're going to do online has to deal with search engine optimization, it has a big role to play in how your business is set up. You can't get a loan or a grant if you don't have a business account, if you don't have a good structure. You can't even have a business account if you don't have your business registered. Because if you start a business account, you're not going to be in the system. There are things that you have, there's policies and procedures. You have to follow those things. That's why I can't say that for you. But online, as a business, when you have a website, that's your domain. Right now, we're about to start, doing a website for a nonprofit. We just had a call earlier today, and we're about to build a website for an amazing nonprofit organization. And now I've already gone into different systems. How can we build it out? And how can we build a structure? There's a for-profit, there's a nonprofit. How do you build it? There's an enterprise, there's a small business, there's a mid-sized business. There are all kinds of businesses, LLC, S Corp, C Corp. Those are things that you have to do your own research. I can't do that for you. But what I can do and what I can deliver is to make sure that when you have your structure as a business and you have your house in order, then you can take this information and then add salt to your food. You're the one that's cooking. So when you buy salt, the salt is what's going to add flavor, is what's going to add color to the meal. So if you're going to do that consistently, then there has to be a structure. Websites are structures. If you have a website, it's a structure. So you know how people build houses with wood, with bricks, with tiles, with wallpapers, with all kinds of material, right? Think about that like Wix, WordPress, Squarespace. Uh, what are the words? There are many of them. There's Duda, there's Tilda. There are many websites that you can build. There are AI websites now you can build on too, right? They're out there. So really, there's no competition because there are 1.1 billion websites in the world. So everybody has a chance to shine. But guess what? Out of those 1.1 billion websites, only 16% make it to the top. And out of the 16%, take out your industry average and then now see the percentage in your industry. So you pretty much you're kind of doing like a 1% of the 1% of the 1%. So if you are the top leader in your industry, in your sports industry, someone else is in the health industry, someone else is in the food industry, you're going to be ranking on Google for the top pages in those industries. When you have a business, you have a NAICS code, right? That's going to identify, that's a classification. That's going to tell you about your business, right? So when you have a structure online, you have to let people know this is how you do business. How do you make payments online? If you're a product e-commerce store, how do you let people know, hey, we're a product e-commerce store. We take Visa, we take MasterCard, we take Amex, we take Discover. How do you tell them without telling them forward? Because you don't want to sell to someone. Someone's not going to buy if you're selling it to them. They have to naturally say, I need this. Can you help me? Yes, I can. How? Here's how. That how is going to determine whether there's going to be one of these or it's up to you. It's going to be one of those two because as a business, your structure online has to be very sturdy. Let me use that word because when you start building websites on land, that is where the foundation begins. If you build land, if you build a house on sinking sand, guess what? One day something's going to happen. We've seen things on the TV before. You've seen houses go down. You've seen them. It's not like I'm saying anything new. This is real life. So when you look at your website online, it's the same thing. So if you build your website on a website platform that you don't know about, that you paid for, you paid somebody to build a website, you didn't answer the right questions or they didn't ask you the right questions, and it's not your fault because you know your business. You just need a vehicle. You just need a car. You have the license, but you want to make sure that you're driving the right car. But if you're given the wrong car to drive and you have the right license, then something's going to happen at some point. You may not find out today, but eventually to be like, yeah, I wish I knew earlier because time is really of the essence, right? We don't have that luxury of time to test things. We have to be very structural with how we build things. So that's why when we build a website for you, we'll ask you, have you built a website before? Where? Then I will do a scan, find out where exactly it's built on. If you don't know where it is, I'll find it. If you know where it is, we can talk about it. At the end of the day, the goal is to get to the bottom of the solution. The goal is to make sure that you have a foundation that is so solid and sound that when you're building interactive sessions online, what does that mean? It means that people stay on your website. That's really what interactive sessions mean. Because if I'm having an interactive session with you, it means that we're spending quality time together. Just think about it. Right now, we're spending quality time together talking about this topic. That's time invested. So if this same time is calculated in the metric value of a website, and you're using your website to track data and say people spend 2 minutes on average on my website, guess how much time people spend on average on Facebook, on TikTok? Hours. So spending 2 minutes on your site, that's great on average. Some people don't even get 2 seconds. So how do you as a business owner stay on top of search? By having a strong business structure for interactive sessions online. Here's number one. The first thing you need to think about as a business with structure. I talked about this today earlier in the Breakfast with Champions room about HTTPS. You have to think about your protocols, right? You have to think about how can your pathway to success start off from the starting line. When you watch the Olympics, when you're watching a race, it starts from the starting line to the finish line. There's a reason why there's a finish line and a starting line. There can be a finish line without a starting line. There can be a starting line without a finish line. There has to be a start to finish. When you think about project management, start to finish, there has to be a starting point and a finish point. If we start this project, we're going to finish this project. If we're going to build this terminal, we're going to finish it by this time, by this date. If we're going to build a website, we're going to build a website from this date to this date. It's a project. The same way you build a house, it's going to take 18 months. It's going to take 18 weeks. Whatever the number is, that's a project timeline. That's money on the table. That's a day. If it's raining that day, you may not be able to do anything because conditions are not, it's not encourageable for you to do that. It's not something that you should be doing in the first place because that's safety first. So when you start thinking about the conditions and you have to deal with all the different things in between, your website comes into play. So when you have a website that is controlled and really put together, right? Meaning that you have a multi-page website, not a one-page website, because a one-page website could be a landing page. That will never rank on Google. It will never rank on Google. Why? Because your page is too thin. When pages are ranked on Google, they're ranked because they have page depth. And why does it have page depth? Because it's page views. And what creates page views? Page sessions. So if someone says, I'm spending 2 sessions per page, or I'm spending if you see the number 2 sessions, or let's say 2 pages per session, let me use it like that, 2 pages per session. That means they've spent, let's say they came in, the entry page was their home page, the exit page was your blog page, right? They probably came in and said, okay, entry page was product page, exit page was privacy policy page. So it's pretty much like someone can come to the back door and live through the kitchen. Someone else can come through the roof and leave through the ceiling. So however they come in and leave is independently based on how they receive the information, on how you gave it to them. Positioning. So if you told them click here to find out more information, that information should be enough for them to stay. If they leave, then you didn't give enough information to keep them. And that's where the structure starts. Because if this business structure is standing and we have active traffic, foot traffic, and we actually have an actual building and we actually have foot traffic on a weekly basis, then the value of that value asset goes up, right? The appreciation value goes up, right? So if it was X amount today, it's X amount tomorrow because those two prices are not the same. It could be 1 cent difference. It could be $1 difference. It could be $1 million difference. But the difference in the two is because there was a start and a finish. So when you have a website, your website needs to have HTTPS in there. What do I mean by that? Right now, and this is 2025, so I think this was 2023. Google, right? And Google is not the only place to rank, by the way, for SEO. There's way more places than Google to rank. You need to rank on Google, Microsoft, Yandex. You got to rank on Alexa. You got to rank on Bing. These are places to be on. There are 46.1 billion searches a day. 46 billion. Let me say this again. 46.1 billion searches a day on the internet. Google only has 8.5 billion searches out of that 46.1 billion. So if you start thinking about the actual value and say, okay, I'm going to create and I'm being very visual with this so that you can, if you're drawing this or writing notes, take this down, draw a triangle and split it up into three: top, middle, bottom. Top 1%, middle 1%, bottom 1%, and then put the total addressable market, put the service available market or addressable market, and then put the service obtainable market. So when you do the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the total addressable market that you're intending to connect with, then when you get to that actual value, let's say it's 1 million, then 1% of that, then 1% of that, and 1% of that, the number you get Think about that number times 12. That's like a total, I would say, I would call it a forecasted value of what you would want your traffic to look like. So, as a business owner, you have to think about asking the right questions. Please do not pay for a website that you do not even know the setup. How would you buy a house you don't know what's in the back door? If you don't know what material they use, why would you? What? You have to know these things because that is an investment. You need to know the material, you need to know the texture. If you're buying furniture, you're not just going to buy any type of furniture because there's a style, there's a theme, there's a texture, there's a tone, there's a palette, there's something you're looking for that's going to give you that aesthetic that you're trying to get. As a business, your business has to have that aesthetic. You know what your business needs. But when it comes to structure online, it also needs to have search traffic. So when you have good traffic on a website, it means that you have good feedback. And that good feedback is page sessions. So when you have a low bounce rate, a very low bounce rate, that means that people are having high sessions on your website. So you have to think through the process as a business owner and not just because I need a website. It's so hard to say I need a website. Yeah, I need a website. I need a website. Yeah, but is that website working? Is it helping? Is it adding value? If that website goes off today, are you going to lose business or are you still going to be in business? That's the real question because you may not see the let's say the conversion or the dollar value or the currency value because it's an international audience. You may not see the currency value conversion, right? That's CVC, right? Currency value conversion. You may not see that just yet. But if you pay attention to adding value to the search traffic base database, then for every article that you produce and you have, let's say, one or two others, it's like three strikes, you're out, right? So you're knocking articles out by three strikes. So for every topic, you're knocking them out, three strikes. So for every article topic, and you have three of them, it's allowing you to talk about things like, definition of a word, examples of a word, and then maybe case study of a word. You've covered three different areas that talk about one topic. And now you're the person that people are going to come to for those interactive sessions. So on your website, it's not just, oh, click here to listen to this podcast or click here to read this blog. When you click on that blog, the next thing is click here to read more about this topic if this is for you. So how will you know this is for them? By knowing exactly how activity sessions go on the back end. So when you have a website that doesn't have, I would call it, let me say it like this before I even say what I want to say. If you have a car, if you drive a car and this car is looking so beautiful, it's pretty on the inside, pretty on the outside, it's beautiful, it's flashy, it's nice, like it's the color you like, it's the paint color you like. Paint job, everything done right. But guess what? There's no battery in that engine. There's no, everything is just off. Inside, under the hood, nothing is happening. It's probably empty. It's not a Tesla. It's supposed to be a car that's supposed to work, but the engine is missing. So how do you drive that car when it looks so pretty? There are so many cars out there. Think about the number of cars that have been manufactured in this hour we're in. It's 4 p.m. now Central. Think about the number of things, the productions that have been done, right? So how do you stand out in the midst of all this? Yeah, I'm in the same industry, but your industry is different from mine. If I'm in the marketing industry, advertising industry, it's different. So if someone's looking online for a keyword, I should show up because I talk about that keyword a lot. So when people are saying keywords, 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 keywords is not just placement. It's the action. I can talk all day. I can really talk all day, but if I don't do anything about what I say, then everything I've talked about is invalid. It's vanity. It's irrelevant, and it's not going to help me, neither will it help you. So now pretty much is a disservice, and now we're both angry. So nobody wins. But if you flip that switch and say, okay, my industry is A, and I serve B, and I talk about C, then from D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all those letters are going to fill in the blanks to answer questions about A, B, C, D. So now you have a business, you sell flowers. What kind of flowers? We sell roses, we sell tulips, we sell, name them, daisies. We sell all these flowers. Okay, do they come in vases? Do they come with wood vases? Do they come with metal vases? What is the quality? How do you treat the soil? Do you guys water with, do you water your plants with cold water or with warm water or with hot water? Like, the questions will keep coming. Like, that's why I give you random questions like those, because every single person has a question. So how are you going to answer everybody's question when everybody's interested in what you have? That's why when you answer the questions that are core to the context, then it's easier for you to have an interactive session, because an interactive session online means that I am talking to you and you're responding back because you're interested in what is being discussed. If you're not interested in the discussion, one, you're not even going to be there. You're probably physically there, but mentally you're not at all in present time. You're not there because it's not something you want to listen to. You're pretty much like you're zoned out, but you're physically there, but you're not presently there. You're not fully there. Your undivided attention is actually divided. So when you have growth in understanding that your website is where people are going to learn about what you do, then it's going to be easier for them to interact with you or get on a call with you, or do something that actually makes them feel like, okay, this person knows it. Because if somebody says, hey, I checked you online, what did they check? What did they see? What did they find? What do they know now that they didn't know? And if it's something that is robust and that is in a very good way, then even the way they will talk to you will have a different approach. Just like if you smell good, if you look good, if you dress good, there's a way you'll be talked to. It's just natural because you're attracting what you like. So if your website smells good, if it looks good, if it feels good, if it's fast, if it's speedy, if it's it's clickable, it's relatable, then someone will want to stay because you're giving them information. How? You have videos in there, you have infographics in there, you have tables, you have podcasts, you have so much content, you have other articles. It becomes a fun candy store to be in because now I feel like this is what I'm looking for. It helps. Podcasting is another great place to be. So I'm just giving you all these ideas because this is pretty much a brainstorming room. Because anything that you're hearing, anything might just take off and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'll take that because that's what you need. I don't know what you need because I don't know what you're looking for. But I know that this topic is a discussion that needs to be addressed. And that's why we're here to talk about it. So I wanted to cover this full length and then let's talk about it today. And if you have any questions, put in the chat so we can talk about it. But Debbie, John, Eamon, we'd love to hear your thoughts about this. What are your thoughts about all this insights and what's happening in your world as well? Reggie, I see you. Reggie, I'm on West Coast. Thanks for being here. Joy from Kenya. Karibu Sana. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Paris, like fun candy store. Yes, that we got to think about the candy, So anyone, I'm tossing the mic up. Debbie, John, Eamon, what are your thoughts about this topic and what is catching your attention right now?
Hey, good evening, everyone. It's around 11 p.m. here, Kyrie. Just and it's beautiful. Um, the journey of this learning curve, ongoing learning curve, if I may say that. What is really catching my interest tonight, favor is how of an attraction that you can call um, profitable. Because sometimes you have conversion rate and you have people coming to your website and everything. But the point here is um, it's very actually hard if if you don't have something to sell, or sometimes you have the services that you sales, but the conversion doesn't um, doesn't become in the it doesn't come in the forms of sales. You don't generate any profit other than the profit from Google per se. But here's my question: what is the bare minimum profit that someone like in uh, in percentage, or in if we can, maybe let me say it this way: if we can uh, measure the cost of this website with what you generate annually, when should you know that this is not working, and you gotta hire someone else to uh, to make this website work? Or because actually here's another uh, point of view that is really catching my attention these days, that the website, uh, I have a client that I'm writing his blog.
Oh, sorry, Iman. It's
And
kind of hard to hear you. I'm also seeing it in the chat too.
oh, okay, let me change this and come back, or let me go out and come back. Sorry.
No worries. Iman said something so good. And you know what it got me thinking about is this piece of, unstructured data versus structured data. And what was coming to me is, pre-purchase versus post-purchase whenever it comes to your products or services, right? Because pre-purchase is case studies, it's FAQs, it's reviews, it's videos, it's testimonials, it's all the good stuff that people want to see. Like, hey, this food tastes good. Come try it out. Okay, cool. Let's try it together. And then nobody wants to eat alone. People like to eat with people because they want to share a meal. They want to break bread together. So there's a way you can do it online that can have that same effect. So it's just based on how you connect with them. So that simple way of doing it is by being very intentional with the words that you use online. Very intentional. Because those keywords is where you start to really build tenacity online, because you're creating consistency with relationships online with people who have never met you before, especially when it's international. You don't know who's reading, who's watching, who's listening. You don't know how many lives you're touching. You just don't know. For me, I'm still in shock that my podcast is still streaming across 144 countries. I still can't believe that. Like, I tried to believe it, but it's real. But at the same time, I'm like, that's not my focus. My focus is impact. So if impact is coming and the byproduct is the numbers, then that's because it's possible. There's no way I can pay ads to run across all these countries. Ain't no way. It's not possible. I mean, you can, but why? When you could do it organically and actually earn media instead of pay for media. People pay to play, but what if you earn it and it's organic? Isn't that better? Because you save time, you actually invested your time, and now over time, you're actually gaining royalties when it comes to music, because I'm in the entertainment business industry, me too. So I know about music, movies, royalties, soundtracks, labels, all these things, because they are codes. Even with music, they are codes. They are with books, they are codes. With podcasts, they are codes. You have a Spotify ID, that's a code. You have a RSS feed, that's a code. So when the identifier is you, then you're the person that they can relate with, because people relate with brands that they know. Now, the brands that, we all know, we're hearing all kinds of stories with brands these days on how, what's going on with the world. If you're really paying attention, you'll be able to see these things. So if you really know that you have a business, and you know that, okay, we have, secure payments, we have this and that, it's not going to bounce, it's not going to have any problems, people will feel comfortable. Like, your process will feel so good that they actually feel like they want to actually do business with you. For example, with me, just to give you it's kind of unrelated, but it's heavy on shopping experience, right? Like, for me, I'm big on PlayStation, right? There's PlayStation and Xbox. I've always been a PlayStation person from the first one. And when the PS5 was coming out. This was, I think, 2020. I think it was 2020, 2021. And Sony, sent out a message and they were like, hey, we're going to have an exclusive invite to purchase the PS5. And I was like, I didn't request for it. And I said, okay, I've been looking for it. Let me get it. I got that link. That link felt like a queue. I've never had that experience ever in my life. That was the first time ever. When you walk in, you click the link and it's a timed link. So you click on the link, you actually have to schedule it. Then when you click on the link, you click it and you have to wait your turn. Then when you wait your turn, they tell you make sure you have your payments ready. Make sure you have your card ready. So when it's your turn, you're not looking for your card. So you have a timely if you don't fill it in and they skip you, that's it. Because they've already given you warnings, they've given you reminders, like so there's no excuse. So you go in there, you purchase it, you go. Then it came back, it came in, in quick time. That shopping experience is something that I can talk about right now. So imagine someone going to your website and they're seeing that shopping experience, feel like, okay, I want to know about this product, but how do I buy this product? Now I want to bring it down to something that even happened today. I was talking to the client I talked to about with the online store and the brick and mortar store, and she's doing well online. She's making sales online. She's doing well in store, and she's doing really well with her business. Now, of course, there's always room for improvement. And I was like, by the way, we should do something about this. And she sells actual clothes. So I said, hey, let's talk about post purchase because we've been doing pre purchase for a while. Let's do post purchase because when you do post purchase, it makes the person feel better. It's like when you're buying a card, this card does this card does that, this card does this card does that. When you're paying for it, you're paying it because you know the value of what you're paying for. So I said, let's try something different. How about we talk about on blogs, pretty much on the website front, talk about how to wash your clothes. So when people are washing their clothes, because people wash their clothes with whites or with colors, or blacks altogether, color so that it doesn't bleach or it doesn't, mess up with your clothes and your materials and everything. They're probably gonna, sort it out by style, by texture. If that's the texture of your clothes, do you wash your clothes with cold water, with warm water, with hot water? All those things are very important. So when I asked her, she's like, yeah, I've never thought about that. Let's do that. Because we want to tell them that when they do purchase these products and it's time for them to wash it, they know exactly what to do. So when they get an email saying, here's how to wash your clothes, they actually open the email and read it because they actually feel like they now know what to do. So when they're purchasing it, they're not feeling like, I don't know what to do with this product. You've told them exactly what they need to know without asking them. Now they feel like you've answered their question. Now there's no friction in sales. There's no friction in productivity. So it starts off with a question, answering these questions. So me asking my client that question was because I was trying to figure out what was the pain point. How can we make sure that our overhead costs are lower every quarter? So it's the goal. But SEO is long term, and some people don't see that because they feel like you gotta pay to play. But I mean, you can. But if you'd rather be paid overtime than being paid on time every time, great. I mean, overtime is going to happen every time. So it depends on how you want to structure it and make sure that you do that on a consistent basis. So I'm really excited about this room today. We have 15 minutes to go. Paris, I want to pass it to you and we'd love to hear your thoughts, topics. Welcome to space.
Yo, what's up? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Favor man. Every time I see you, I get excited because the way you be talking is just so even kilter. But if it was anybody else dropping gems like that, they would be like, put a one in the chat. Tell me where you from. It would take 2 or 3 hours. You put out so much information so fast. You better be ready with your pen and your paper and catch all the gems. Earlier you had said you were just sharing and you didn't know exactly what questions and stuff we had, but I mean all you got to do is just sit back and get ready to take it in because some of the stuff you be sharing I don't even know to ask. You just dropped the gem right now that made me forget what made me come up on the stage to tell you I loved it. But letting somebody know how to use your product once they buy it without them having to wonder or ask or look for tags on it or anything like that, and not just reaching out to them to say hey buy something else, but no, here's how you take care of what I have. That's a gem right there because that's a quality contact where the person doesn't feel like they're just a transaction. They feel like they're part of a brand or a family that's worth something, because a lot of clothes you buy You might wear them one time and never wear them again. But somebody's telling you this is how you care for this. So I love that. That's a quality, like, meaningful point of contact. And then the other thing you were saying is, like, when you brought your gaming system, how they, made you get in line to wait. It made me think of a relationship. You teach people how to treat you. They were teaching their customers how to treat them, and then they were also building value, and then also making their customers feel more valued. Because if you let somebody treat you like you're a doormat, it devalues them, and that's why they won't stay with you. So they made you treat them like they were the highest echelon. And so now that you got their product, you feel like you're the highest echelon. So they made you get a ticket at a certain time, get in line and be ready to buy. And if you didn't up, you missed it. And so now everybody that's got it is like, oh yeah, I got it. I knew what to do. I did it right. And now I got this thing that everybody wants. And so it's like you bought into the clout of having it and didn't mind, having that experience. And some of you still talking about that just did so much for their brand and for their customers to feel like, I'm part of this echelon of product. And then I love, what else you said that made me come up here? Oh, when you said the candy store, having your website. I've been to websites and I'm like, they put this up because somebody told them to. Like they put this in a prompt LLM, large language model, and let it spit out something and they push publish. Because you go to the site, you don't see what it is, who they are, what their product looks like. It tells you, oh, you need this solution, we got it. So they did, yeah, they did the hero. But they didn't do anything to make you feel like you were anywhere except for somewhere where they felt like they had to have it up. And when you said make it like a candy shop, I'm like, yeah, had the blogs, had the newspaper, like all the stuff you named, like that makes the experience like, oh yeah, I got this product, go to this site. Like I'm not gonna mind sending you there now. I'm not gonna mind referring my friends or, seeing that this looks like something that somebody put money into that they're gonna keep going and I can keep looking out for what they're doing. But thank you so much, Favor. Hey everybody, I'm so glad to see y'all and so glad Favor has so much quality to drop. Get your pen and paper. I always have a pen and paper when I'm listening to you, Favor. And I turn the mic back over to you. That's my
Thank
pen.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paris. Appreciate you for being here. Love your energy, love your thought process, and love what you said because you definitely brought it in, and it makes a lot of sense when you help people. Even with the PlayStation thing, I ended up getting another link, and somehow I don't know how it even happened, but somebody was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get one too," and I was like, "Sorry, it was just I only had one ticket," but I had to do research and ended up getting three more opportunities where I got one for my brother and where he now got his own. And then there were two other people I was playing soccer with that they were thinking about. I was like, yeah, check this link out. And they took the link and they actually purchased it and they have it today. And, that's a story. I mean, it's so irrelevant, whatever it could be, but it happened. And it's something that when I think through, I'm like, these are little things. Like you can be really grateful for a lot of things when you look at the little things. And the little things matter because you have to think about things in sequences, right? When you build a business, when you build a website, when you build these things, you have to ask yourself, how do you scale out a business? How do you think about your business to the point where now things are changing? Like today, I had a team meeting for the first time on a Monday and it felt so good. Like we were 10 on the call, three people couldn't make it, but it was so good. And it was really good. I was like, yeah, everybody is on fire. We used to do meetings on Wednesdays and it felt good, but I was like, something is dragging. I was like, something is wrong. I couldn't tell what it was. And it's been happening for 5 years, but I said something needs to switch. And once I switched that last week, now today, I'm like, this is intense. Everything is just working. That's why I'm on Clubhouse. And that's why in this house on Marketing Club, I'm literally telling you guys the real thing right now. If you click on Marketing Club at the top, there's a room every day this week. Like I've made time available at least for an hour every day this week. Tomorrow, we're talking about how do backlinks work for feed optimization with SEO. On Wednesday, we're talking about audio advertising versus video advertising. On Thursday, we're talking about SEO, breaking down keywords. And on Friday, we're talking about earned media opportunities for SEO and PR, Power Pages, all at 11 a.m. Central daily, starting tomorrow. So that just to tell you, I've literally created time to be here. I don't remember the last time I did a daily room this year. From the time I flew back in January, I've not had a daily room on Clubhouse. I probably do one room a week or once every other day, but I've not done as much because I've been on the back end building. Now I'm like, okay, structure is ready, the house is ready. Let's cut the ribbon and let's celebrate. But now it's time to work. So I'm doing this in a very sequential, very instructional manner, that when you listen to this episode and you're able to rewind the tape and you're able to go back and ask yourself, have I done this? No. Have I done this? Yes. Have I done this? No. Okay, what can I do to get this done? Then you get to know more things over time. It helps you to process things. So it's not who's going to get to the top of the top of the page. That's not the goal. The goal is who's going to be top of mind. I think I'll do a room on that maybe sometime next week. Top of mind over top of page, because you have to be in somebody's mind for them to think about you. If they're not on your mind, if you're not on their mind, trust me, out of mind. What do they say? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yes,
It's a real thing, right, Paris?
yes, and that's another gem. I never thought in a million years what market share Google has, because they're just, that's the term you use. Google it, no matter which platform you're talking about. And when you said out of how many point, like some are billion, they're only like 8 billion at 40 billion. I'm like, wow, who? So you gotta be not just top of their page, but top of mind, so that people don't even Google it. They just recommend it. They blab it out. Oh, I'm looking for such and such. Oh, call Favor. SEO. You think SEO? You think looking something up online? You think Google? You think I need a piece of tissue? You think Kleenex. You think I need to clean my ear. Q-tip is top of mind. It's branded in deep. And so when you said that, I was like, wow, I never thought I need to go back and rethink everything that I'm just indoctrinated with trusting and believing now, because I'm just thinking Google is everything. And you said out of, did you say like 40 billion, 40.1 billion? They're only 8 billion market share or something like that. So that's something, yeah, that's big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge deal. If you think about like that's more than the total world population. Like if we really think about it on a daily basis and we say, okay, let's do this. Like even Google Search Console that is free, they give you 1,000 rows of keywords when you have way more in your bank. If you check, they only allow you to submit 10 pages a day. 10. That means if you wrote 10 articles today, if you wrote 12 articles, those two you gotta wait till tomorrow, because those 10 need to go into Google. Why? It makes sense. 10 times 1 billion is what? 10 billion. So, and if you think about the amount of keywords, right, that have to go through, it's a lot, right? So imagine 25 billion, plus gigabytes of data that Google is transcribing every day. And probably that number is probably outdated because there's so much technology today. So you can't keep up. You just have to focus on your house, your room, your closet. Just pray about things, have faith, work it out, do your best, do your job, and then just strive for excellence. That way, the right people will say, "Hey, I want to book a call with this person. I want to schedule a call. I want to pick his brain. I want to know what's going on. I want to listen to the podcast. I want to listen to her show." Then you get to know who you like, what you attract. So that way, it just helps you get better. Some people have sent out emails saying, "Hey, I listened to this episode and I would love to talk to you about this." And we have a great conversation and we connect on LinkedIn all over the world, different parts of the world. Like I've connected with people in so many parts of the world. Sometimes I'm like, is this normal? I don't know. I'm just excited that to actually do this out of passion, not, oh, this person is this much, or that's a cost, or that's a price, or that's an expense, or that's an investment, or that's a bill. That doesn't matter. When all is said and gone, it's what you did, how you made people feel. Like, what did you leave in their hearts? Did you leave something good or did you leave something bad? That's up to you. So your business, not every business, succeeds for over a good number of years, right? If you think about the successful businesses, if you've survived at least 3 years in business, in profit, at least just operating, it may not even be profitable, but it's operating. That's a good thing. When you break even, when you now have a surplus, when you now start having good management systems and operating systems, it helps. I'm still growing. I don't know everything. If I knew everything, then where's the fun in that? You have to keep growing. You have to keep knowing. You have to keep growing. You have to keep going. So when you keep doing these things, it just helps you as a business, and you're able to really see, okay, here are the missing points to build it out. So if you want to build your structure online as a business to have interactive sessions, what do you need to do? Have videos on your website so that those videos can be watched on your page, whether it's coming from TikTok, from Instagram, from YouTube, from Pinterest. Have those videos watchable on your website so that people can watch those web pages and you can gain that traffic. Have infographics, have FAQs, have clickable, expandable pages, have tables, have studies, have case studies, have things that people can see, have pictures. Even if it's AI images, use them because people want to see those things, especially if you're creative and you're able to do them in a very creative way. Because gone are the days where you just talk about SEO. Everybody, SEO is boring. You guys should know that. If you don't do SEO, it's boring. It's not even boring, it's annoying because you don't want to even do it because it's like, what is this? But that's the very thing. It's like eat your broccoli. No, but that's the very thing that's going to make you succeed in life because you focus on those things. You do the hard things first. Yeah, you can pay to play. You can pay somebody to get followers. You can pay somebody to run ads. But if you spend time and you work hard and you dig into the soil and you plant good seed, you definitely will get organic fruits that will yield fruits that you don't have to plant again because you're just having a reproductive cycle. So it's up to you. Do you want a one-stop shop or do you want a superstore? It's up to you. So, before we go, we'd like to pass it to you, John. Anything you'd like to say? How do people structure their business, and what advice would you give them so that they don't, overthink the process?
Yeah, I would boil it down to customer acquisition. Whether you're selling something or, like my case, where you want people to listen to the podcast, it's the same process. So it all boils down to this is where SEO really comes in. It boils down to discoverability. If people can't discover your content when they're searching for your content, you lose. There's no other way to put it. That's where it really comes in. So, discoverability, getting their attention, and then working on getting them to stay longer and come back more often. But for me, it's always about customer acquisition, consumer acquisition, discoverability first and foremost, and use all the tools. And Favorite knows what I'm going to say. The podcast version of my show, it took me more than 6 years to get my first million downloads, and it's taken not quite 2 years to get another 6 million downloads on top of that. And the difference is paying attention to SEO. And the SEO, in my case, it's not just Google, DuckDuckGo, and Bing. It's also podcast apps like Apple and Spotify because they use the same tools. So SEO will pay off for you big time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, for that. That's the icing on the cake. I feel like there's nothing else to say. Now the ball is in your court. Go do it. Go shine. You have a spot. Just fill it and just do it. If you do it right, you get it right. And the more you get it right, the better you get at it. You don't get better at something you don't do over time. It's practice makes perfect, and repetition is the father of learning. So I really appreciate you for giving that insight, John. Thank you as well. Paris, Austin, Kalia, Reggie, ECMD, Joy, Sack Black, Chris, Ellis, EJ, Mario, Michael, the mom coach, Stevens, and Corinthian. Appreciate you so much for being here with us today. And Audra as well. Thanks for coming in. If you guys want to listen to replay, please click the link above. That'll give you access to it. If you want to get on a call with me for 20 minutes, let's talk. If you have a business and you do want to highlight your business on my podcast, the We Don't Play podcast, please feel free to do so and start now. I put the link in the chat. That's the access to the podcast. Listen to the podcast. Anything you love, just hit the big search icon, type in anything: digital marketing, SEO, LinkedIn, Facebook, email, whatever you're looking for, and you'll find the episode that you're looking for there. So I made life easy for you. And I think when life is easy, everybody's happy. It's just a matter of what you really want in life and what you care about, like your future. It just starts off like that. So thank you so much for being here. Love you all. God bless you. Have a great week. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Peace out.